My name is Catherine Wanjeri wa Kariuki, a reporter with Kameme TV and Kameme Radio in Nakuru County. Now, it's a sad moment for me because apparently 2 days ago I was shot at my thigh 4 times, but 3 bullets are the one that lodged inside my body. The fourth one didn't get into my body. It's something that I remember so well, something that is so disturbing to my mind because my colleagues and I left for work at around 1:30 p.m. to go and cover the mandamanos that were happening in Nakuru, the anti-finance bill, the Gen Z protests that have been going on. And we started covering the incidences, and from the onset of those protests, the Tuesday, it was on 16th protest, there was some disconnect between the police officers and the journalists. Regardless of us being trying to be friendly, I remember at a time I had carried toothpaste from my house because there was some, let me call it a myth because we don't know how true is it, toothpaste helping in people not being affected by the tear gas. So one of the few police, it's not one actually, a few police officers had requested me to help them with the toothpaste so that it can help them because they had seen me apply the toothpaste under my eyes. So I remember at one moment, one of the police officers asked us why we are following them, and yet they are not the one who are protesting. So we just took it lightly because we've been covering these protests since they started. This is the fourth week, and we never thought that it would come to a place that there would be a disconnect, or there would be there'll be enmity between us and the police officers. So at around 3 p.m., things got worse. And there was a time, I remember there was a disabled guy who was protesting. And I think the police officers had, let me say, quote unquote, gotten fed up with him. And they wanted to disperse us as the journalists so that they can arrest that guy. So I remember that is where the havoc started because a canister, tear gas canister was thrown onto us, a few journalists, and including the Kenya prisons officers. It was thrown from one of the central police station vehicle. And we got over it because we've been sniffing these tear gases for so long, but we got over it. Moments after, I think maybe 30, it's not even 30, less than 30 minutes after the tear gas canister was thrown onto us, some police officers came with horses trying to disperse what they were calling protesters. Because me, from onset, since we started the protest, covering the protest, I didn't see the protesters who warranted the kind of energy that was coming from the police officers. So they didn't want to see any gathering of more than 3 people. So apparently where we were with so many journalists from the other media houses in Kenya. We were so many, including my colleagues from my media house. And apparently we were following them with actually I remember I was holding my phone because they came and there was a siren from their vehicle, the one that had been indicated at Salga police station. And it went, and I think there were 3 police officers who were inside the vehicle. I don't remember well because it happened too fast. And then along Kenyatta Avenue, that's when I was shot. And I think because I was shot 4 times, the numbness, I didn't feel it immediately. So after some time, that's when I realized I've been shot, and I fell down. And luckily, I was surrounded by my colleagues. There were no protesters who were near us. It was only me and my colleagues. And they helped me very quickly. They looked for a vehicle, no, for a boda, and they rushed me to one of the hospitals within the CBD. What's even worse is that a week before, we had covered these protests. I remember there was some protest that had happened, and I remember my colleague and I and our camera persons were among the first people who had started covering those protests. So we would see everything that the police officers were doing. And I remember one of the police officers coming and telling me, and I will quote, nimekuona na nimekumark. So I don't know whether it's because of that previous week. I would, nobody would convince me I was not a target, because it is not the first time I had been targeted, and I had been hit by a canister, a tear gas canister, but I did not report. I did not even escalate that thing. I showed my colleagues the I don't know, even the sky is still there, the same leg that I was shot at. So I don't see it as being a coincidence. I believe and I know, maybe, just maybe, it's someone who has some personal interest. I don't know who, because me, I'm not born or bred in Nakuru. I came to work in Nakuru 2 years ago. So if there's anyone that I have a grudge with, maybe that police officer, I don't know, because I sincerely don't know why someone would target me twice. Because the 2 weeks prior to it was on a Thursday, I remember. I was Somebody threw a tear gas canister when I was covering live coverage, and then a week later I've been shot at. I don't call it a coincidence. Yeah. Now, on Tuesday at around 12, I'll repeat. No, at around 1:30 p.m., I left my house thinking that I'm going to cover protests and go back home. Little did I know that I will end up in a hospital with stitches on my thigh. I don't know how long it's going to take me to recover. I might try my level best, but I am not getting any younger. And I don't know what kind of damage those scars are going to do to me. I know the administration and the county commander of this county knows who he had given that bullet. I'm asking for justice to be served to me as a Kenyan, first as a Kenyan and second as a female journalist. It hurts. It hurts because we might try to give it a blind eye, but women are what you see. They are their bodies. You've come and you're trying to give me scars that I didn't expect. I just want my justice served. And I want the police officer who did this to me to face the wrath of the law. It might take long, but I believe and I know it is going to be served to me. Yes. Okay. Now, I think exactly 7 minutes before I was shot, my mom had called me. And she told me in my native language, please take care. Little did she know that 10 minutes, 15 minutes after her call, she'll be called by the hospital to actually give consent for me to be operated on. My mom suffers from blood pressure. Actually, there came a time that the doctors told me I cannot go to the theater because my blood pressure had it had escalated. But it didn't escalate because of maybe the wounds that I had, because of the thoughts of my mother. Because I was thinking, now that she's been told I have been shot and she had told me a few minutes, take care of yourself. She's many kilometers away from me. How is she going to take it? She may look strong to me, but I know it has affected her and it's going to affect her. Because in the long run, even when I'm discharged from the hospital, I'm going to be a burden to her. Because she did not, okay, there's no burden in a mother's eyes, but literally that's a burden to her because she did not anticipate. It's not a disease that I was sick. It is just that somebody somewhere, a rogue police officer decided to put me in this situation. So I hope and pray that I'll be served justice. Yeah.
On that day, there's video showing you
Yeah.
helping a female
Yeah, nimeongea.
police officer.
Nimeongea.
So I think with this
This is to the police officers, the National Police Service, to be precise. You people know who shot me. I believe you're human beings. And that particular police officer who shot me, I know justice will be served to me. Why you shot me, I don't know. But this is my appeal to the county commander of Nakuru County. You know your officer and you know he shot me. Do your work and present that police officer to face the wrath, because I was not a demonstrator, as I was working as those police officers, and I was in an identifiable press jacket. So they were working, I was working. Present that police officer.